Good morning from downtown Riga. It's the end of August and starting to get a little bit overcast and been raining the last few days. So as you can see, we're kind of geared up for some rainy weather. Today we are headed to Jūrmala, which is a seaside city about 22 kilometers outside of Riga. And we're taking the train to get there. So let's go. Alright, so we have arrived at the Jūrmala station, which actually, there's not technically one station. This is Majori station, probably the closest to kind of where the central beach boardwalk, well, it's not really a boardwalk either, where the beach promenade, where the promenade is, that we're going to explore. Very interesting. That was my first experience on what I would call sort of a Soviet era train.
It was interesting.
They use Russian gauge track here, which is wider than European gauge track. And the train was super, super wide. It was kind of cool, actually, but kind of enjoyable. Now, one thing to note is we've found that using public transportation here, they have these people called controllers, which go around and validate tickets. And we have now been asked for validation 3 times in the time that we've been here. So it seems like it's important to make sure you have a valid ticket when you're traveling. Just FYI. All right, so let's get to it. So the weather forecast today was cloudy, no rain until later this evening. But as you can see, there's rain. We found that, I think Latvia in general, but Riga especially, the weather is very unpredictable. So you should always travel with an umbrella and perhaps a rain jacket, just in case. So we've arrived at the famous Jūrmala Promenade. Lots of restaurants, and I'm not sure what else, but we'll find out.
That's the name of that little town. Doesn't it remind you of this?
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
that place. Yeah. Well, you know what? At least we both know what that place is. Yes. Let's look up the place.
So it turns out this place reminds me a little bit of Mendocino, California.
I don't know how you got Mendocino. Mendocino, beautiful place right on the ocean. This does not remind me of Mendocino.
It totally
but
does.
I'm glad it reminds you of Mendocino because it's a nice place. So since we got a late start, we're gonna start our trip with lunch. Cheers, dude. So we got some music playing in the background that's gonna screw up our YouTube, but we ordered a nice little appetizer thing with like a meat, cheese thing. I don't know what it was.
Meat, cheese, and wine. We're having meat, cheese, and wine.
And some wine. Yeah, so that's what we're having. Definitely looks very upscale. We're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good lunch. A little expensive, but we had a nice couple of glasses of wine and a really, really nice meat platter. In fact, meat and cheese.
Good.
Probably one of the best I've had in a very, very long time. It was really, really well done. Very, very fancy. About $32 US, which, you know, it's a little expensive, but
It was worth it, I think, in this case.
yeah, it was worth it. It was nice, and it's still within budget, so we're good. All right, so now it's raining, of course it's raining, and we are going to continue down this promenade and see what's at the end. It looks interesting. I'm going to tell you. Spoiler alert. It looks interesting ahead. Also, fun fact, and probably the one and only fun fact of the day, is Jūrmala, the city, translates to Jūrmala side, seaside. So the name of the city essentially translates to seaside. All right, let's continue our journey. So we've decided that before we head to the beach, we're going to go to the Jūrmala observation tower, which seems like it's this very tall tower in the middle of kind of a nature preserve, forested area, something like that, like basically a big park. Then we're gonna head back and check out the beach. So I'm going solo now. Stephanie made it up to the first level, and as you can see through the floor all the way down to the bottom, which I'm not sure how many levels I'm going to get up, but I'm going to try to get up at least 3 levels before I run back down. What's motivating me is I can get my steps in, and climbing these stairs gets me way more calories, so I think I can make it to the top. Although we're getting to the top of the tree line here, so it's getting pretty high. All right, I've made it to the top. This is honestly a little bit higher than I'd like to be, but it's a pretty nice view. You can see all throughout the area. Really nice. Now I just have to get back down. So I think it's all about not looking down, but unfortunately, walking down the stairs, you have to look down. Actually, it's not too bad. Normally, I don't like these kind of graded things where you can see all the way down, but it's actually not that bad. So about halfway down, I can see Stephanie down there chilling. It's probably worth coming for up here. It's free, and you get some calories in, so all in all, not too bad. All right, now that we have completed the observation tower, we are going to head over to the beach. But on our way, we're going to try to sneak through some of the neighborhoods here. Now, Jūrmala is known for these really, really fancy wooden houses, kind of old, and they're all protected. So if you buy one, you have to keep it, I guess, sort of restored and painted. I think painted the same color. So we're going to see if we could pass by some of them. If not, we'll do it after the beach, but I think there might be a few around here. There's also a lot of new builds around here. This is a big holiday town and very popular with Russians, so you have a lot of new housing here. It's actually really nice. I think a lot of people live here seasonally too. They buy a place and then they just come for the summer and lock up for the remainder of the year. So a lot of these places will be sort of vacant in the winter, and I think also the Promenade area and some of those other areas are much less busy, and some of the shops may also close down as well. Not 100% sure about that, but I'm sure if I'm wrong, somebody on YouTube will correct me. So if I am wrong, correct me in the comments. So we've arrived
at the beach.
The body of water that you see in front of you is the Gulf of Riga, which connects up to the Baltic Sea.
Okay, so we have to do a temperature test. Oh yeah, it's a little chilly. A little chilly, don't know if I'd want to swim in it. Time for some ice cream. So we each got the same thing, a maple and walnut ice cream in this bubble waffle cone. And I had a little bite of the bubble waffle cone. It's really good. It has a little cinnamon to it. And the ice cream's really nice. Good flavors, not too sweet.
And as you can see, I took a big bite out of my waffle already. Ice cream is done. That really hit the spot, especially on a nice cool day like today. Now we are heading back to the train station, gonna catch the next train back to Riga. All right, so we just arrived back where we started in Riga. Had a great day in Jūrmala, visiting the beach on a nice cloudy, rainy day. Had a great lunch,
Yeah.
good ice cream, and we're just now gonna head back to our Airbnb. Hope you enjoyed our short day trip, and we will see you in the next one. We've arrived in Offenburg.